And you've got the options to change things up, put the likes of Hulk up there, like you said. But yeah, it's not the strongest strike force for such a nation that's usually so powerful.
Yeah, no, players have the option to actually pick like 2 international teams, but a lot of stays sort of mostly at club level, and then pick Germany as their 1 international team, use Germany, and then just kind of left their second international team. Some have picked Portugal and Italy. But again, I don't think they're great teams either.
Portugal's obviously, you're getting the Ronaldo factor, but they've got weak links all over the park, Portugal. So it's difficult. I don't think, after Germany, there is a lot of international options in this game, but I think we're getting started now.
Yep, I think we're heading over to the game.
So we've got Bayern Munich versus Brazil again. So it's interesting, we've just been talking about Brazil. And maybe we'll have to eat our words. Can they come up with something? I haven't seen who's got up front in this game yet, but whoever is at the focal point of that attack is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they've gone for Joe again.
Oh, it's a cross in? No, couldn't connect with it.
Just go find out who's who.
So we've got Sterrenstatus versus Epsilon Brian here. FC Bayern of Germany versus Brazil. In the quarterfinal, the third quarterfinal. Opportunity here for Franck Ribéry. He's going to get one away. He's gone with the cross, open goal, and he's finished it. We have an early goal. 1-0 to FC Bayern of Germany. Did you see that? Cheeky little cross there. And the open net. And Brazil have got to come back once again.
Yeah, no, it's a great goal. Bayern Munich is Epsilon Brian, so great start for him. And yeah, did the right thing, going for the cross-across goal. Kind of missed that first header, but luckily had a guy at back post to finish it off.
Exactly. And I think Bayern, for me, just like Real Madrid, probably the 2 strongest club teams in the game. And one of the reasons I see them as so strong is they have that they can hurt you in multiple ways. You know, you've got the pace of Ribéry, you've got the pace of Robben down the wings, and you've got someone like Mandzukic who can head anything. You know, he's so good in the air. And again, in next game, yes, they're not going to have Mandzukic, but they're going to have Lewandowski, so they're going to be just as strong again.
You know, it's Mandzukic is their big power thing, especially in this game, because Helen's so sort of powerful and crossing in corners. That's where he really comes into his own.
There's plenty of time for Brazil to get back into this because it is over 2 games, but we've got a second goal straight away. What a dream start for Epsilon Brian. 2-0 inside 10 minutes, and that was Goetze with the goal. The World Cup hero has bagged himself a goal, and Sterrenstatus has got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, no, you don't normally see this actually between like 2 big FIFA players. Like these guys on an international level come quite consistently top 16, top 8 in the world. Well, maybe not Brian, he's quite new, but he's definitely competed against some of the top guys over the course of this weekend. And yeah, no, fantastic start for him.
Don't forget, guys, as well, if you fancy a little bit of competitive FIFA, you can go over to gfinity.net. It's free to sign up, and you can put yourself against various opponents and see if you can handle it. Because it's very different. Once you flick that switch and it becomes competitive FIFA, it's no longer playing with your mates. It's a different ball game.
So yeah, I've really enjoyed playing there so far. Whilst I'm not competing at these guys' level anymore, it's really nice to train and sort of go toe-to-toe and just test myself. Because you never know, you could get sort of guys like this in the first round of tournaments, and you know, if you give them a close game, then that's relieving for you, knowing you're kind of doing the right thing, and you never know, you might get the win against one of these guys.
Exactly. I mean, it can happen. It can happen. They're not unbeatable. I find that the difference between the average sort of friendly player and competitive player is just the concentration. They can keep themselves concentrating 100% of the time for the entire game, and if you do play against them and you let anything go, you know, a little slip of concentration can cost you, and they'll pounce. They get the 1-0. We've got a chance here with Brazil. Oh, it's a good strike, but it's just gone wide and over, I think. It was a good chance for Sterrenstatus to get a goal back, but it's staying 2-0. And as I was saying, I think when you're playing competitive FIFA, if you do let a goal slip, they can sit on it. They can keep that lead, and they can keep possession, you know, make it very hard for you to get back in the game.
Have you played many pro FIFA players before?
I've had the opportunity to play quite a few. I do a lot of someone that used to be in the pro scene a little bit more than he is now. He's more on the YouTube scene like myself. Is Dirty Mike.
Yeah, and, I know him well.
He's a very, very good player. I've beaten him a few times. I've beaten him. Hello, mate. Hello. How you doing? I've beaten him a few times, but he's just very solid. He doesn't make mistakes, and to beat someone like that, you've really got to beat him at their own game, which is playing possession football. What I like about Dirty Mike is he actually scores good goals as well. Because sometimes you watch competitive FIFA, it's so tense and mistakes will be so costly, you can't go out there and play free-flowing football. And that's what I'm looking for from this tournament. I've seen a few already, to be fair. I've been surprised by some of the quality of the goals. Last game I thought was really good for skills. I think that the second quarter-final we saw a lot of skillful play, not so much in the first one.
No, not so much in the first one. I know Pi and Taz like to keep it tight and play a more constructive style. They have a game plan to keep to, and to be fair, it works for them. It's effective. But some players like to be more free-flowing, like Vince and like Stokes, and get a lot of success from that as well. It's just like normal football. You have different styles with different FIFA players.
What do you think is the most effective style? Like you say, in normal football, we're living in a kind of possession football sort of generation at the moment. We saw the tiki-taka of Barcelona, Bayern Munich are dominating, Real Madrid are winning the Champions League last season. In FIFA right now, for FIFA 14 and the way the game's made, what do you believe is the single most effective way to win?
The most effective way to win, I think, is trying to control the wings and keeping hold of the ball as much as possible. And as long as you get to the byline and have a chance, maybe through a corner or through cutting inside or through getting it in the box, I think that's the best way to play.
Do you believe that every team should line themselves up with a man that can head the ball?
Yeah.
I think the same. I think if you're going to play, whether you're playing Seasons mode, whether you're playing Ultimate Team, whatever it is, just a chance here for Brazil. Hulk's going to cross it in. Can't get on the end of it. Oh, can we get something else? No, I think they're going to clear it. I mean, the defence is so solid as well. Every guy playing is... some of the tackles they're putting in the box, last-minute tackles, they do it so coolly. And that you've got to keep composure. You've got to keep composure. Even you see the way they play with the ball out of the back. They don't kick it long. They don't panic. They keep the ball. They take the time. They make themselves a new chance. And as we were saying, I think that every team, whatever mode of FIFA you're playing on, you need someone that can head the ball. And we've got a chance here for Neymar. Can he bring it down? No, he's lost the ball just on the edge. It's still 2-0 to Epsilon Brian in the third quarter-final here at G3. What are you making of the game so far?
Again, that Bayern defence, I think we haven't seen as much of Brian in attack now, but that pairing with Boateng and Dante at the back really stepping up for Brian, and this is the strength of Bayern Munich.
Yeah, they've got strength all over the pitch, Bayern. One thing, so I'm interested, he's playing Müller on the right. So where's he playing Robin? Is he playing in behind the striker?
And I think he's playing 4-2-3-1. I think Müller is playing central.
Oh, okay,
but,
he's just moving.
Out there, at the moment.
Müller calls himself the space investigator. Do you know that? Thomas Müller calls himself. He doesn't call himself a cam or a right mid. He calls himself a space investigator. He sees the space, he investigates it. I like that. I like that about him.
Well, no, he's one of the most intelligent players I've seen.
And he wears his socks very low. You notice that?
I hadn't noticed that.
He has. Anyone notice that in the crowd? Thomas Müller, he wears his socks very low. It's his own thing. I don't know why. If you ever meet him, ask him. Just like Alexis Sanchez likes to have his shorts very high.
Yeah, that's a strange one, yeah.
Hot pants. He basically wears hot pants.
Is there a performance reason for that, or is...
I think in Brazil, in the World Cup, it was mostly for tanning. He wanted to keep his legs bronzed. But a lot of the boys do it. Ronaldo likes to do it. And we've got the half-time whistle there. So 2-0 to FC Bayern, which is Epsilon Brian. That rhymed. Is that a reason he picked Bayern? I don't know. But yeah, it's 2-0 to FC Bayern here. Don't forget, this is over 2 legs, this game. So plenty of time for Sterrenstatus to get back in this with Brazil. I do feel, though, with Brazil, you need to take the lead. Because it's very difficult, especially against someone like Bayern, to get back in it.
Yeah, no, definitely. We haven't really seen much sort of real goal-scoring opportunities from Sterrenstatus so far, and he has struggled to get a grip in this game.
He's cut inside here with Neymar, though. Can he get a shot away? Oscar, his try is still going. Wow. It's got to be a goal. Oh, it's off the post. Oh, that hurts. I feel your pain, buddy. I feel your pain. I've been there. We've all been there. The woodwork is my nemesis.
In all honesty, he didn't really deserve that opportunity. He kind of just bounced off the defenders to get that opening, but when he was there, he did not finish that. And
he's got chances. I think he'll get some more chances if he keeps peppering away. But I think who's he got up front for Brazil here? Is he playing Fred, or is he just playing Neymar down the middle?
No, I haven't been able to.
He's got Lucas.
I think it is Fred in the centre.
He's got Lucas, Neymar, and Hulk on the pitch. Because if he hasn't got that outlet in the middle, I'm not sure. It looks like Fred. It's an interesting game. I'm looking forward to seeing how things change when the next game comes out. Obviously, we're getting close to it. Will heading be as vital? You know, obviously EA are going to want to address that.
Yeah, I think when something's so overpowered, they normally do the opposite thing, and so I don't think heading will be very useful at all next season, or toned down a little bit.
Yeah, they want to counterbalance it back.
Yeah.
The heading will be not good enough in the next game, and they'll sort it out in the game after that.
Yeah.
Goes on and on. So he's got Robben. I mean, when you've got Robben and Ribery, you're always going to create chances. These two guys. The interesting thing about them, though, is that they both play on flanks where traditionally you'd have the other footer, you know? You've got a left footer playing right mid and a right footer playing left mid. I feel like Ribery... Oh, corner! Oh, he's hit the woodwork again. Oh, he's got the rebound, though. Well done, Sterrenstatus. It's been coming. It has been coming. 2-1, game on. What's that? You've got something there. Oh, you've got a game on your hands. We have a game on our hands. That's what's happening here, guys. It's 2-1. Do you think Sterrenstatus is going to get back in this?
Yeah, no, well, he's shown signs definitely in the last sort of 15 minutes of this half that he can compete with Brian here. And Brian's really toned it down. He had that first sort of 10 minutes, that mad first 10 minutes where he scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
But since then, he hasn't really had a goal-scoring opportunity.
Unless he does something here with Frank Ribery. What can he do? Mandzukic. Is he going to hit one? He's hit one! Oh, the keeper saved it. Second chance? No, he's taking it out. One thing I've been interested to see today is that when the guys do go down the wings, they go really tight to the byline. They'll probably take one touch more than your traditional FIFA player would. Obviously, they're in control. They know what they're doing. They're not going to kick it out for a goal kick, but they get right up to the byline just to give their defender less chance to anticipate what they're doing. Is that a particular strategy?
Yeah, no, you will see it a lot. You'll see a lot of FIFA players do that. I think it's because you'll naturally get an outswing from that position, and the keeper just doesn't come out for it. And if you can get the ball into the box, you'll normally have a header from, 4 yards out, and a header from that range is just impossible to save.
Exactly. And if you do save it, then you've been given a lifeline.
Yeah.
And that's what I think you've got to do at this level. If you manage to stop something like that, like a close range header, you've got to go at the other end, and you've got to, eyes on it. 2-1 here then still. Epsilon Brian has got the lead, but since he took his second goal and made it 2-0, I would say Sterrenstatus had the better of the game with Brazil.
For people watching at home, I'd actually say that's probably the most effective way to score in this game, to hit the byline and sort of square it across. Just like
that, and he's going to score. He's not going to score! How has that not ended up in the back of the net? I do not know. I guess what I'm talking about. So, Sterrenstatus now has been given an opportunity. He has to pounce on it. He could have been 3-1 down, but if he gets one now, we'll make it 2-2. We've got game on. A game on situation. We've still got a whole another 90 minutes second leg to happen. But plenty of opportunity. Schweinsteiger, Müller, I mean, Bayern have got a team here of World Cup winners. A lot of these guys part of the German squad that won. And obviously the Brazil squad, we know what happened to them.
Yeah, no, good play from Brian there, just being patient, although doesn't get a throw in somehow.
What would you do in this situation? I mean, Epsilon took a very early lead. Because it's over 2 legs, he was 2-0 up at 10 minutes, but that's the equivalent of being 2-0 up after 5 minutes if you look at it as a 2-leg match. What do you do then? You can't start sitting back then, surely. Or are these guys good enough to do that?
No, I don't think they are good enough. Well, I think it's more the fact that the other player is a top player as well, so you can't afford to sit back.
It balances itself out.
Yeah,
they're going to be just as good.
I think when you are 2-0 up in a situation like that, the pressure will really be on the guy that's 2-0 down. If they go 3-4-0 down, then the game just gets away from them. So if you're 2-0 up, you can just keep playing and be more relaxed, I guess.
It's interesting that Epsilon Brian comes from a 11v11 background, pro clubs. Have you done much of that yourself?
Yeah, no, I haven't. I don't think you get the opportunity much to play in an 11v11 structured league. I know the guys at FVPA sort of promote that structure and that tournament base. And I know that's something that's come to Gfinity.net as well. Club tournaments for prize money.
Yep.
But I find it really hard to organise a team.
That's the thing. I mean, one of the beauties of playing sort of single-player FIFA is that it requires one person. You know, you don't even need a ball. You just need a console and a controller. I play a lot of clubs myself, and I do really enjoy it. And I probably find it the most rewarding mode of FIFA. But like you say, it's a whole thing you've got to arrange. It's almost as hard as arranging a real life football team. So, but if you can do it, if you've got the mates together and you're all up for it, it's really a rewarding thing to do. You find your position, you stick to it, you get good at doing your certain job for the team, and you play a vital part. And if you can get to Division 1, then who knows? When competitive, we can play clubs on gfinity.net, we know this, so if you've got a good team, why not take them on there, see what you can do?
Yeah, no, yeah, if you've got a good team, it makes sense, because you might be able to win a fair bit of money from it.
You have to change your mentality when playing clubs as well. You have to change everything, because you might be, individually, you might be a quite attacking player or quite a defensive player, but when you're playing a particular position, for instance, you can't be an attacking centre-back unless your club wants to play that way, which is very unlikely. You're going to have to do your job, sit at the back, and let your attackers on that team do the rest for you. But back to here, we are in the 90th minute of the first leg. It is 2-1 to Epsilon Brian, who's playing as Bayern Munich, and Sterrenstatus is Brazil, and he's only got the one goal, but he's got plenty of time in the second leg to get back in it. What advice would you give? I know you were saying you're not particularly fond of the coaching sort of style, but if you were Sterrenstatus' coach, what would you be saying to him at the end of this game?
Just keep things going, the same thing. Like, I think you've got to look into how players prepare for tournaments. They will prepare sort of 4 or 5 hours a day, training their tactics, training this formation. You have to, when you get to this stage, you have to trust what you've trained. The moment you start chopping and changing formation is the moment you kind of lose your head a bit, and it all goes out the window. So. And
then we just saw at the end of the 90 minutes of the first leg, Sterrenstatus only had 1 shot on target from the 7. So that's something he can massively improve on. He needs to get more shots on target if he's going to score. But interestingly, his only shot on target went in. So, I mean, Bayern Munich have got a great goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer, in my opinion, one of the best goalkeepers in the game, if not the best. You'd probably expect him to do better than that.
Neuer is definitely the best. We saw it a lot yesterday, actually. A lot of players were playing as Bayern Munich or Germany, and he was just like an extra player to beat, and saved a lot of players. Sterrenstatus now.
Manuel Neuer is also one of the best centre-backs in the game. Yes. Well, that's real life. Yeah. In real life, he is one of the best centre-backs in Germany. In fact, Joachim Löw, the German manager, said that he thinks Neuer is good enough to play centre midfield for Germany.
Really?
Tactically and technically good enough. He comes out, you know what he's like. He loves it. That's why it's hard to beat Bayern Munich and to beat Germany, because they have an extra sweeper because he sits so far off his line. How many times have you seen Neuer get lobbed?
That is true. Although in that Algeria match, there were times where I thought this guy's in trouble.
But look at some of the tackles he made.
True.
Sliding tackles.
But I used to be a goalkeeper actually, and I was told, if a player's marking the player, you shouldn't come out. But he's just an exception to the rule. I think just from being so good and so quick, and which isn't natural for a goalkeeper. I
think if you're Boateng or Mertesacker or Hummels, whoever's playing centre-back for Germany, you're going to feel very confident knowing you've got Neuer behind you.
Yeah. Again, I think if you're Mertesacker, if you're playing Mertesacker at the back, I think you need that sweeper there to cover.
Okay, the second leg is off. It's 2-1 on aggregate to Epsilon Brian. So we're going to be expecting to see quite attacking football from Sterrenstatus and Brazil this leg, I imagine. He's got to go for it. He's got to get at least 1 goal. If he does tie up the game, it will go to a 3rd match tie-breaker. And if that game ends level, it will then go to penalties. So, I mean, that could happen. We're only 1 goal away from Sterrenstatus to see it levelled up. So here's Neymar on the ball now for Brazil. Trying a few skills, trying to get that ball out and wide so he can cross it in. How do you feel about the Robben and Ribéry, like we were talking about earlier, how they're different feet? They're coming in great for shots, not so much for crossing.
Yeah, no, I think that helps. I don't think a weak footage really affects the players crossing on FIFA that much. I've seen Ribéry put great crosses in with his right foot. Is that the wrong way around?
His left foot, yeah.
Yeah, left foot, and Robben with his right.
Ribéry's weak foot rating, I think it's 3 stars.
I'm not sure what it is, but I think it's something that only really affects their shooting abilities.
Okay. So they can still put a decent ball in.
Yeah.
So it's not a massive disadvantage to have a wrong foot on the wide flanks, in your opinion?
No, I actually think it's a great thing to do. It's something I've done in FIFA throughout the years, actually. I've always put a right-footed player on the left wing just for that cutting impact.
It's interesting as well, because when Robben plays right wing in real life, as a, he's playing against world-class left-backs in the Champions League and the World Cup and whatnot, and you expect them to know what he's like. He likes to cut in, he likes to hit a shot, but they can't stop him because it's the timing of how he does it. His feet are so quick, you never know exactly when he's going to do the cut.
Yeah, no, well, he's so dangerous. He can hit the byline and cut inside. I know he likes to cut inside a little bit more, but he can be unpredictable.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of unpredictability, hang on. Brazil got an opportunity. Oh, I thought that might have been a penalty there, but it was a good tackle from Dante. And we've got a corner. See what he can do. If he can get a goal now, we have a serious game-on situation. Sterrenstatus is going to hit it in with Dani Alves. Can he connect with it? But Neuer comes out with those massive hands and catches the ball. Size 15 hands Neuer's got. Do you know that?
Size 15?
That's large. I've got quite small womanly hands.
I think I'm size 11, so...
Yeah, I've got like size 4 or something. Yeah. Quite good for getting in nooks and crannies if you're doing any kind of like cleaning kitchen or anything, that sort of thing, okay. if you're interested. Anyway, back to the game. 19 minutes in, still 0-0. And Epsilon Brian will be very happy with the way things have gone so far.
Yeah, definitely. It will definitely suit him for this game to be a bit bitty in midfield. Like they're both getting interceptions in and both losing the ball when they approach the final third. Yeah, that will suit Brian.
We've got a free kick with Robin, which he opts to go short to Goetze for. Goetze is looking for that pass to Ribery. Right, what can Frank do? Can he get it in? He's turned him. Can he do the cross? That's great defending there from Luis Gustavo. And Ribery's still looking to do something. Keeping to the possession very well. Oh, that pass has made it through to Robin. Can he get it on his left foot? No, he can't. Brazil have got an opportunity to counter.
Yeah, no, good play by Brian. Just tried to get that opportunity on the edge of the box where you look for that finesse shot into the corner. But again, good pressure from Sterrenstatus.
Is it one? Oh, that's a strike.
Wow.
That was a strike. What do you make of what's happening here? We've got a coach or a teammate helping him out, giving him some tips.
Yeah, no, like I was saying before with Jonathan, I don't think there'll necessarily be tips. Maybe kind of motivation or maybe telling him to calm down. But I don't think he'll be telling him to switch to defensive or attacking or anything like that. I think them decisions will be made by Brian. It's just for a kind of an ego boost, maybe.
What about, we've got an opportunity here. What can Alaba do? He's looked for the through ball. Keeper came off his line as well. Don't know if you saw that or not, but what do you think of sort of premeditated tactics? For instance, if you went into a game, would you think, okay, if I'm 1-0 down at this time, I'm going to do this? And second of all, would you tailor-make your tactics to your opponent?
I think it's very hard to tailor-make your tactics, unless you know exactly what your opponent's going to do, obviously.
I think some guys have got reputations for playing certain ways. Some guys like skills, some guys like to go wide, some guys play through the middle, etc.
So yeah, no, definitely I would change it up depending on who I used to play very narrow if I was playing against players who I know would start with one player up front and play wide if I was playing a guy who's playing 2 up top or 3 up top.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely does come into it. Not so much this year. Everyone's kind of playing 4-2-3-1. So
yeah,
kind of defeats the object a little bit.
Is that your favoured formation as well? 4-2-3-1 or 4-2-3-1 wide?
No, I personally play 4-4-2, but
you play 4-4-2. Old school.
Every top guy here plays 4-2-3-1.
Wide or not wide?
I think mainly wide is being used, which is a little bit more defensive.
Yeah, especially with Bayern, actually. That's my favourite. If I had to pick one team to get myself as good a chance of winning against anyone else, I'd pick Bayern Munich and I'd play 4-2-3-1 wide. And I'd have Ribery on the left, I'd have Müller in the middle, I'd have Robin on the right, Mandzukic up front, and Schweinsteiger and probably Luis Gustavo as the other CDM. Not Luis Gustavo, sorry, he doesn't play for them anymore. Who am I thinking of? Javi Martinez is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's a solid team. It's a very solid team. And with Lewandowski next year, as I say, they're going to be even better.
Yeah, no, I just find it hard to get players forward with that formation. You're kind of forced to play very patient.
Yeah, it's very true. And then if you do go down, you need to probably mix it up.
Yeah.
Because it's quite defensive because you've got the 2 CDMs. So we're nearing the half-time whistle in the second leg, and as things stand, Epsilon Brian will be sailing through to the semi-final. Mandzukic has just picked up a yellow. Other thing about Bayern Munich in this game is, if something happens to Mandzukic, who do you bring on? Pizarro?
Yeah,
Shaqiri?
Possibly, yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest. They don't really have that many options
they don't.
in reserve, but we're not playing with injuries anyway, so the only way you can...
Well, there was an injury in the first quarter-final, I saw.
Oh, yeah, no, that was a mistake.
That was a mistake, was it? Okay, injuries are out, don't worry, injuries are out. Handballs off?
Handballs are off.
Good.
But you can get players sent off, so Mandzukic could get sent off.
He could get yellow, but he wouldn't be banned for the semi, would he?
No, they're not carrying over.
We don't carry them over, guys. Not a G3. Don't worry about that. Hang on. Oh, I thought Hulk had an opportunity, but the final whistle, no, the half-time whistle, sorry, has been blown. And we have 1.5 left. And Sterrenstatus needs to find something. There's been one shot in that opening half. It's very cagey. Is Sterrenstatus going to have to attack a little bit more, open up the game, obviously giving Epsilon Brian a chance to hit him on the break, but we're going to have to see that now, surely.
Yeah, no, we'll see it at some point, and I think Sterrenstatus will probably leave it as late as possible, maybe. The later he scores, maybe the better for him. So it will, it won't give Brian a chance to have a return, and win the game. But Brian will also be a bit cagey now as well, because the longer this game goes on with being 2-1, he'll feel he was the favourite going into this game. He's got a better team, so he might get a little bit nervous the longer this game goes on.
It's tight, that's for sure. One shot in 45 minutes, you'd expect more from a game like this, but at the same time, like I say, it's a second leg, and there's a lot on the line, let's not forget. As you say, if you go through in this game, you've got a shot at that prize money at least for 3rd and 4th place. And obviously, you've still got a chance of making it to the big grand final, which is going to happen today. We are going to have the winner by the end of today. Will it be one of the guys playing right now? At the moment, Epsilon Brian's got a chance, and he's just playing things around the back at the moment. Cross the ball over. Now it's Muller. Muller has his socks at regulation height in FIFA. That's something they missed. Maybe they'll change it for the next game. And here's Goetze to Robin. He's keeping it out wide.
But I must admit, Brian hasn't impressed me as much as he did yesterday. No one really knew what to expect. And he just took everyone by storm. He was playing such attacking football, and even the games that he drew, he could have won quite easily.
I mean, we're going to expect, though, even people that performed particularly well yesterday to probably not impress as much, because they're coming up against tougher opponents.
Yeah, true.
Every game's getting tougher now. There's no easy games at all, even from the start of the group stage yesterday, but by the end, the final is going to be, whoever makes it, the two guys in the final are going to be very, very high quality.
Yeah, well, you've got some of the best players in the world here. Like, there's so many guys with either 2 or 1 world championships to their name.
How long do you think, if someone's watching here that maybe hasn't played FIFA that long, maybe a couple of years, just at kind of their own sort of amateur level, how long does it take for someone to really make the move from someone that's good amongst their friends to someone that can hold their own in a competitive environment?
Yeah, I'd say about a year. I think because the game changes each year anyway, no one ever has that advantage. Like, for example, I've been playing for 9 years, but because I haven't played this game as much, I'm not as strong. So you need, it only takes a year, I think, to get good.
That's a massive equaliser, isn't it? The fact that every game, come September when the new one comes out, no one has that much of an advantage on you because they haven't played it either. But there are basic sort of motor functions, hand-eye coordination that over 9 years, you're going to get really good at.
Yeah, so naturally you'll start off at a better level than other players.
Yeah.
But I think over a year, that's enough really for you to have a chance to compete at a competitive level. Like, Brian's only been playing a year, and he's already matched up against world champions here in this tournament, and not looked out of place at all.
And I find he's got an opportunity here. He's put the ball into the box for Goetze. Thiago has passed it into nobody, and Brazil are going to counter-attack. I feel like Brazil's counter, they're quite deep. Even their attackers are still quite deep, so maybe he needs to... I don't know if they're playing on neutral or basic, or if they're on defending, or what mode they're on, but might need to switch that up to get the Brazilian players further forward. He's got a chance here, though. Neymar, can he get a shot away? Oh, he's hit the woodwork again! What is going on? That's the 3rd time he's hit the woodwork.
And here we go. This is quite late to leave this change, actually, but finally we're going to see a formation change, probably a 4-2-4. Or maybe not. Maybe this is a change. No,
so
this
Brazil
is a
have
change
just gone for
Bayern.
Brazil have done the 4-2-3-1 wide we were talking about. He's obviously listening to my advice. Good work, mate. He's definitely been listening to me, because he's just brought on Javi Martinez.
But no,
So he knows what he's doing.
What I'm confused about, this is a change for Bayern Munich, who are 2-1 up currently, but we haven't seen any change from Sterrenstatus, who's Brazil. He's the guy that needs a goal here.
20 minutes left. That for me was a signal that for Epsilon Brian, he's now basically said, I'm not going for the win. I'm not going for more goals. I'm sitting on my lead. I'm going 2 CDMs. I'm just not going to let you through. You've got 20 minutes to do your best. And if you're Sterrenstatus in that position right now, you've got to say, all right, I'm going to come at you with everything I've got. I'm going to flip things around, watch what I can do. But he's kept it the same. He thinks his formation's got enough to break down the Bayern defence. And we're going to see if he has an opportunity to do it now. No, he doesn't. That's our final pass has cost him. The final, he hasn't connected, he hasn't had enough shots. When he's hit them, he's hit the woodwork 3 times, but he just hasn't had enough. Yeah, and
I think we'll see that a lot more over the next, 15 minutes now. You just see Sterrenstatus coming at Brian because he's set up shop now. I don't think he's had a shot all game still.
Epsilon Brian?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's been really, really negative. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean in a kind of trying to quash the game out and keep his lead. And that's the advantage you get when you go 2-1 up. You have that option to take that. And it's your job as his opponent to stop him doing that.
Yeah, no, you don't see it very often. Someone's shut a game out from, halfway through, or from the
10th minute he scored that second goal.
Yeah.
So it's really been almost 170 minutes of just literally holding him on a leash. Oh, he's given the ball a while. That was a huge opportunity, but I think Lucas was offside.
Yeah, it was offside. Only just though.
Would have been a game changer. That would have been a game changer. As things stand, though, Epsilon Brian will be going through to the semi-final unless Sterrenstatus and Brazil can find something and pick something off the top shelf. Gertz has got the ball here for Bayern. Is he going to keep it in that corner now? 82 minutes on the clock, or is he going to go for the goal? He's played it inside to Mandzukic, who's gone back to Gertz. So he's looking to keep that ball away. And he's lost it, though, and this is an opportunity. Sterrenstatus needs to come up with something, or else we're going to see someone being eliminated with Brazil for the 2nd match in a row.
Yeah, I'm surprised Brian's waited this long to go to sort of time-wasting tactics, getting in the corner. Because, he seems to have set up shop from the early stages. Why hasn't he been doing that kind of all game?
Let us know what you're thinking about the FIFA on display, guys. If you're watching on stream at gfinity.net, give us a tweet. I'm at Spencer Owen if you want to tweet me and let me know what you think of things. And the ball's gone in, but that's another offside, I think. Those offsides are killing him right now. He can't afford to give the ball at this point in the game. 87 minutes.
Yeah, that was really costly for him there. Just a loss of concentration, and I think that could be a really expensive mistake for him.
And we know that Epsilon Brian has enough to keep possession, but he has given it away here. And Oscar is looking for the aerial through ball to Neymar, and he's got a corner. Okay, this is massive. 89, 9 seconds of normal time left. Can he connect with a corner? David Luiz was looking for something, but he hasn't. Coming to Lucas on the edge of the box. Can he get a shot away? Thiago Silva to Oscar. Oscar to Neymar, looking for the 1-2. He's pulled it down. He's being pushed out wide, though. It's good defending. That's really good defending, but it's another corner. Have Brazil got the options to head this home?
I don't think they do. You've got Boateng and...
Hello, opportunity! He sits it as a save from Manuel Neuer in the last seconds of injury time. He's got one more corner. Will Sterrenstatus get this in? Ball into the box. Neuer's come out and punched it with those size 15 hands, and that could be game over. And it is. There's the final whistle. Epsilon Brian has sailed through to the semi-final, scoring both his goals in the first 10 minutes of the first game. What do you think of that match?
Yeah, no, it was a great game. Brian did well there to hold off Sterrenstatus for, 170 minutes there. Hope you enjoyed your first match commentating at Gfinity.
I loved it, mate. I loved it. It was a pleasure. Thanks for doing it with me. I feel like we bonded.
Thanks very much.
So we're going to go over to Chris in a second, and don't go anywhere, guys, because pretty soon we'll have the 4th quarter-final. We'll find out who our final semi-finalist is. Over to Chris.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Brian and Sterrenstatus. Brian, since you've come to the 1v1 arena, you've had an incredible run of form. What's your secret?
I don't know. I just play my game. I'm very happy to be here. I win my qualification in online a tournament with 100 players, so it's amazing.
Levi, you came so close on so many occasions.
Yeah.
What would you have done differently?
It was just a lack of concentration in the beginning, and he scored amazing goals, but I don't know what was happening. Maybe it was some nerves or something. Just disappointed because after that I played really well, but the ball didn't want to go in. Just bad luck.
Cool. Well, we've got Bruce against Aga Rosenmeyer in the last quarterfinal right after this short break. Join us then. Don't go anywhere.